Dimensions are used to fully define the sizing and location of our sketches or designs. So for example, here we are continuing on from the sketch we created in the previous lesson, and we have fully constrained this sketch such that the general shape is fully constrained. However, we haven't defined any dimensions to actually size this sketch. Now to throw in our dimensions in Shaper 3D, a very simple process. I can just tap to select any line, let's say here, and we see the dimension automatically popping up. I can just tap and drag that dimension to move it around as I may like. And then if I'd like to change this dimension, just tap on the dimension itself, and I'm going to change this from 12.118 to maybe just 10 millimeters, and tap the green check. Now we see this dimension has changed to 10 millimeters, and it has locked in as well. It's the exact same idea for dimensioning any circles or arcs. I can just tap on this arc here, notice the dimension coming in, and I can move that around as I may need. And let's say maybe I want to change that dimension to a radius of 5 millimeters. We can also dimension angles between multiple lines. So here, if I just tap to select my bottom horizontal line and this second line here, notice we see our angle dimension coming in. And again, same idea, tap and change to maybe a 120-degree angle here. And now we've thrown in our angle dimension as well. Finally, in addition to dimensioning any lines, arcs, circles, or angles, we can also dimension between any two points. So for example, I can tap this bottom left point and maybe the center point of my arc here, and notice I'm seeing a dimension between these 2 points. And I'll just tap on the dimension to change this dimension. And notice here I actually have a few different options within the dimension. I have the absolute distance between the 2 points, or perhaps I'd like to make use of the horizontal distance between the 2 points, or maybe the vertical distance between the 2 points. So maybe in this case, let's say I wanted the vertical distance between these 2 points to be 12.5 millimeters. And now we can see that vertical distance coming in between those 2 points. So now, throwing in all of the constraints and dimensions here, we have a fully defined sketch, meaning that all dimensions and constraints have been given. So now if I were to try to make any changes, so if I tap on this point here, for example, and try to move it around, notice I'm getting that message saying cannot move this sketch, as it's been fully locked down or constrained. And of course, if I wanted to make any changes or edits, I could of course delete any constraints or dimensions as needed. Now that we have a good understanding of using constraints and dimensions and our basic sketching tools, in the next lesson we're going to put this all together and create an even more complex sketch.